It's been a great month for Tesla stockholders, and just over the last week, we've seen the stock burst through the $1,000 level, setting fresh all-time highs. So what next for Tesla from here? Is it really quite overvalued now, or actually this latest move is the start of a new trend? Thought we should do an update on Tesla, considering the move we've seen during October. A great performance, extending really that trend from the March lows in 2020. So back in 2020, it was trading below $100 a share. And here we are, what is it, about 19 months later, trading above $1,000. So I thought, let's do an update on the stock, take a look at the recent news, what's driven it out to these latest levels, then come back onto the charts, look at the technicals in a bit more detail, and try and figure out just where Tesla might go from here. Hello, I'm David Jones from Capital.com, and I thought we'd do an update on Tesla. The stock has moved out above $1,000 a share. It's a $1 trillion company, loads going on. So I thought, well, let's take a look at Tesla at these never before seen levels. So as usual in this video, I'll talk a bit about some of the recent news, what's been driving the latest move higher, some of the thoughts on where it might go next. Then we'll jump back onto the platform and take a look at the technicals and the chart in a bit more detail, because there clearly is a trend for the share price of Tesla. If you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, if you could click on subscribe, it does help support the channel, and it means we can continue to push out lots of different videos on different stocks throughout the week. Right, let's get into it and take a look at Tesla in a bit more detail. So just in case you've been living in a cave for the last 10 years, what did Tesla do? They are mainly an electric vehicle and also a clean energy company. As I said, this month, we've seen the stock set fresh all-time highs. We did have all-time highs, but that was much earlier in the year. So fresh all-time highs again in October, trading through $1,000 per share. So this puts it at the elevated heights of making it a company that's worth $1 trillion. So $1 trillion is a big number. It's quite hard perhaps to get our head around it. But to put this into perspective, Tesla as a company is now worth as much as the 9 largest car companies in the world. Absolutely incredible, even though it only accounts for 1% of total global sales. It's as big as the next 9 companies added up. So the big news this week we had was that the rental business, the US car rental giant Hertz, had placed an order for 100,000 cars from Tesla, the Model 3 car, for its rental fleet, an order that was worth, in total, $4.2 billion. And that did, I think, again, put a bit of a rocket under the share price of Tesla. So some analysts, understandably skeptical about this, saying that, well, a $4 billion order has added $80 billion in market cap to the value of Tesla. That's just ridiculous. But others would say it's not so much about the financials involved here. It's another step along the way with Hertz taking so many of these to add to its car hire fleet of electric vehicles becoming more and more accepted and a wider uptake in the world versus traditional internal combustion cars. Whatever you take on it, it's been a great performance for Tesla. It is clearly something of a bet on the future potential of where Tesla might go and where the electric vehicle sector, how it might grow. To have a look at the share price performance, the stock is up 45% year to date. And just in October, we've seen the stock rise by 33%. So it has really taken off over the last month. But has it gone too far? We've seen some great returns for Tesla over the years. It's now worth the same as 9 of the other largest car companies. Is it really being overvalued and it's a bubble, or actually it's a very fair valuation and there could be more to come based on its future potential? Let's just go through the big levels to watch, then we'll go and have a look at the charts. So the high reached so far at the time of recording, $1,095 per share. That's the 26th of October high. After that, we're probably just looking at psychological levels, 1,100, 1,250, 1,500, those sort of levels. On the way up, we do have some levels to watch if we see the price sell off from here. I think, again, on the downside, the first level I'd watch if we saw it dip would be around $1,000 for the stock. After that, $900 was the previous all-time high. So these would be areas I think that technical analysts would be watching for the potential for a bounce if we did see the share price dip from here, looking to be a buyer of that dip maybe. But let's take a look at the charts. Let's jump on the platform and look at the technicals in a bit more detail. So let's start looking at the Tesla technicals in a bit more detail. We've clearly got a trend. We'll come back to that in a second. But I thought let's kick things off with a moving average. I've used a longer term moving average here, 50-day moving average. And of course, traditionally, when the price moves above the moving average, that's a buy signal. When the price moves below the moving average, that's a sell signal. The last signal we had for Tesla on the 50-day moving average was back in June. You can see the price moving above the average there. We had a bit of sideways trading after that, but that moving average doing a pretty good job of providing support. At the moment, the 50-day moving average is sitting just below $800. So it would take a move below there, so a 20% plus fall in Tesla from where we are now to generate a sell signal on the 50-day moving average. So perhaps not too relevant at the moment. But if we take a look at the RSI down here, this is an overbought, oversold indicator, 10-day RSI, very overbought. But as I often say, in strong trending markets like we have with Tesla, obviously, these indicators can give an extreme reading far too quickly. It went overbought in mid-October with the price at $800. The price has moved about 30% higher since then. So I think I wouldn't read too much into the RSI at the moment, but just to note, this is the most overbought the RSI has been. We've got to go back to Feb 2020 to see the 10-day RSI overbought. So it does show how extreme the move has been in Tesla. But I think for now, I want to focus on the trend here. We'll go back and have a look at the price action. Just as a note, we do have a channel for trading, and in the trading channel, we do place some trades on the various markets we look at. We looked at Tesla on the trading channel back in May of this year, and I did a trade back then, buying in at 580 for the stock. That trade's still running. Clearly, it's been a great performer. I think it does show you that the benefits of trying to stick with some of these longer term trends if they happen. So at the moment with Tesla, where are we? The trend line is coming in around $730 for the stock. So even if the stock dropped 30% from where we are now, we're still in that trend from March 2020. So from a technical point of view, it is still very much a buy the dips sort of stock. If we did see it slide from here, what are some levels to watch? Well, I think $1,000 could end up being something of a psychological support in the short term. At the time of recording, the stock is trading around 1,060. So I think for shorter term traders / investors, that's perhaps one area to watch. I think if we saw a deeper sell-off from where we are now, personally, I'd be watching the old highs. They come in around $900, those highs from January of 2021. So if we saw the stock drop about 10% from here, watch to see how it performs about 900. Do we see some buyers come back out? And then we've got some further support coming in around 850. So the technicals, with the stock at pretty much all-time highs, the trend is clearly up. The purest technical chartist approach would be to be a buyer of dips. Yes, it is overextended if we look at the trend, the moving average, and the RSI. So let's not be surprised if we do see some cooling off from the stock price from here, but overall still really positive. I think, we've got to really look at psychological levels for targets. If we break 1,100, then 1,200 seems a reasonable target. But for me, if it starts to weaken is where it starts to look even more interesting, just to see if these old levels hold. But overall, as it has been since March of last year, that trend for Tesla is still up. So longer term, still expecting further gains for the stock. That's it for this update in the ever-increasing Tesla share price. We'll come back to it, of course, in the weeks ahead, see how it's performing, see if it can build on this latest break to all-time highs. But for now, from me, David Jones and Capital.com, we'll leave things there. Good luck with your investing. For more trading videos just like this, please subscribe to our channel.